I had quite a few messages about doing a video about Chris Watts' girlfriend, Nicole Kissinger. So I decided just to put this one together. Okay, so here we go. I'm only doing a little video about this. This is not to bash anybody extra. I've done many videos about Shanann and Chris Watts already, especially that drive and so forth. And it seems to me that Chris Watts was lying all the time. He was lying just as much to Nicole as he was to Shanann. And the man just hadn't realised that both these women were intuitive and were going to ask lots of questions, both of them. He wanted Nicole because he didn't think and he didn't care about anything else. That was the point. She was the getaway from the work and the routine of children. She was where he went to get away from it all and not think about a future, where he starts saying he loves her and she takes it that he wants a future with her. Everybody, all the females in his life were asking him to make decisions. We've got his mum saying whatever she says because she doesn't like Shanann and the argument over the pistachio ice cream. You've got Shanann, who'd been giving him ultimatums, I think, for a little while. And then you've got Nicole saying, oh, flat, move out. I don't think Chris Watts was looking at that, really. I think he felt he wanted to be... He did say in this relationship with Nicole, he felt more in control, but I don't think so myself. I think she was in... She may not have even realised it, but she was in control a bit of his feelings. But everybody is pushing and pulling him backwards and forwards. The mother, Shanann, the girlfriend. I really think that he wanted his cake and eat it. I said it one of my first videos. He was going to try and have a mistress where he could just forget about the whole world. Always stringing her along. And Shanann with the children. And he was lying to both these women. Both of them. In the first interview, she's saying, he lied to me. If I'd known that she was pregnant, I never would have started anything with him, because then I would have realised that all I was to him was sex. So he didn't tell her anything about the pregnancy. Yeah, and I know everybody said that she was constantly looking her up, but she might not have been. She got the man she wanted. So why would she be looking Shanann up? Not interested. She's listening to Chris Watts saying, we're over. And the really weird thing is that in all this, in her interview, what she's saying is that he basically said it had been over for months because they couldn't communicate very well with each other. But he blames Shanann didn't want the relationship. Shanann doesn't want me. Shanann tells me that she wants to move on. It's her decision. She wants to sell the house. She wants to move on. It was all like, for weeks and weeks, Shanann had been saying it was over. Although we do remember that Shanann did bump into a solicitor, didn't she? I think that was about April time, wasn't it? So maybe Shanann was feeling that things weren't quite right in her marriage. And then she got pregnant, didn't she? So she had to put all that on the side because now she's pregnant having another baby. And maybe, couples have blips and ups and downs. So maybe she just thought, well, he wants a child. Well, I'm pregnant. Hey, let's move on. And, yeah, so he blamed her for everything. She didn't want this relationship. She's the one that's not opted out of this relationship. She's the one that's given up on me. She's the one that doesn't want it. I mean, he could be telling the truth on that, but who's to know? But that is what he's telling the girlfriend. Oh, yeah, my relationship's over. She doesn't want me. She doesn't want me at all, no. But I see, those are the lines that a man who's having an affair and wants sex will tell them. They will tell you anything. Oh, yeah, I'm going to leave her. All that. When he was being interviewed in February, he said it was too soon to be moving in with someone. He had not got that far ahead. He wasn't thinking of moving in with Nicole Kissinger. He wasn't. I don't think he was even thinking of moving in with her at all. He was still playing his game. I don't think he had any intentions. All he's doing is just lying to everybody all the time to keep everything going, because he doesn't know really what to do, because he's in above his head, really. He doesn't seem to realise it's him that's got the communicational problems. It's him that's lying. It's him that's playing the games. That time to actually leave Shanann, to be honest. He just wanted his cake and eat it, and he was stringing Nicole along. And I think that give a few months, because obviously Shanann was feeling insecure because of his lack of emotionalness, and Nicole was feeling insecure because of his lack of sort of quite moving on. You know, you must have heard her with the house. He says he wants a house. I get it kind of ready for him, and then he kind of backs off. And I do find it a bit strange that go away for that week with your family. Yeah, try and sort it out with her. Text. You know, so that was a bit strange. But again, listen, she must have been wise enough to think, he's been telling me for weeks and weeks and weeks that he's not getting on with his wife and it's over and they're on the way to separation. So why would he go away for a week with them? Why would he go off with his family and go off for a week sleeping in the same bed as Shanann if they were over? You see? So I think Nicole knew then, to be honest, that something wasn't right. You know, when someone tells you, you have to go, oh, what? You're going away, are you? Because don't forget, they're not in a committed relationship. They're just having lots of lusty sex. And so she probably, in time, give a day of thinking, well, why is he going there? If they don't get on and they're not communicating and they don't love each other and they're splitting up, why is he going away for a week with them? So her hackles and everything must have been up to that. It must have really played on her. And she said that she didn't know Shanann was pregnant. I don't know. I'm not sure at the time she actually started work at Anadarko, but you know, there's speculation that she did, or there's whatever. I did see that her dad had looked at Shanann, her dad's profile. I saw that. And she didn't know she was pregnant. So, of course, in that interview, she said, well, if I'd known that she was pregnant, do you think I'd have carried on with him? I'd have known it was just sex. So, really, Chris Watts just wanted sex, really. And the love you was just, he wanted to tell somebody he loved them, I suppose, during sex. And that's just, I don't know. Maybe he didn't do it then, but... And maybe he did love her in the moment. But I could think a few months of that person pulling him, he would have walked away anyway. He didn't like stress, did he? He didn't like it from his mum. He didn't like being pushed from Shanann. He definitely wouldn't like have been pushed from Nicole either. But I just find it, you know, we've drifted apart. There's Shanann. Maybe instances had been happening for her to talk to that solicitor in, about April time. And maybe things weren't right. If we don't sort this out, it's going to be over. So maybe she said it then, and she got pregnant, and then obviously she was into the pregnancy. But, you know, telling Nicole they drifted apart. You saw at the very, very end, even though she said, that's it, it's over, you're not seeing the children, because she said that before she went away for that last weekend, and I'm really surprised the police didn't pick up on that one too. Shanann had already said these things and slammed the door. It had happened a few weeks, obviously when they got back from, or during when he stayed with them, you know, in that last couple of weeks, she had said these things to him. So it wasn't a complete surprise when she obviously said it again. That's it, it's over, and you're not seeing the children. Something like that must have happened. But I still think that when that happened, the control changed. Because don't forget, he thinks he's more in control of everything. And he wasn't in control of Shanann, was he? And what was going to happen there. He hadn't thought about all that. Hadn't thought what was being taken away from him. You know, that last few days, she was trying, self-help book, trying to work out, is it me? What am I doing wrong? I just feel so sorry for all that. Because she could have walked up Everest and back. It just chopped her arm off, chopped her head off. It wasn't going to make any difference. But the thing is, the only connection that you've got to see here is that this man lied and lied. He's lying to us now when he's talking about how he did things. He's still lying. He is a master liar. He's been lying for sure since June when he met Nicole Kissinger. Lie upon lie upon lie. you just don't hear that it's all got like too much for him and that actually his lies have caught up with him. He doesn't see it. He's just going to be ready to make another lie. I mean, look at this picture here of him here. He looks very happy with Shanann. This is only months before. Maybe even only weeks before. Anyway, what does it show you? I mean, look at this one here. He looks really happy. And the thing is, when you're in a marriage, what does it say? It says in goodness and in health, in sickness and the whole thing. And yep, it was probably tough with 2 little kids screaming, "Mommy, Mom," all that. But, you know, he produced the children. It wasn't like they suddenly turned up one day and like, oh, we were free and single and oh, then plop, plop, 2 children. I just think he wanted his cake and eat it. The only thing is he couldn't handle the cake. And I still feel that he was the one that was actually, maybe that's when everything caught up in him and he snapped and he killed Shanann. But I'm pretty sure maybe he's telling the truth about the early on bit. It's just he's not put the right timing in. And Shanann would have said, right, you're having an affair. I'm leaving in the morning and you're not having seen the children again. And then maybe he did what he did. I just don't know. Everybody thinks he planned it more. Maybe he did a little bit. But, in some senses, you don't really hear him hate Shanann. I just think this guy is so ill in the head. A lot of people think that she was a lot more involved than she was. I think she was pulling and pushing on the side, but if you were the girlfriend and he was going, "I love you," and "yeah, I'm moving out," what would you do? He was just lying to everybody. And he does. He wants to say sorry. I'm really sorry for lying. He had to lie because he was playing games. He wanted it all. He wanted it all. He wanted someone on the side. I have come across men like that who want affairs. They don't want to leave their wife, but they don't mind having sexual affairs with people. And, they just want something they're not getting in their marriage. And the thing is that he did say that Shanann was always working. And, obviously not giving him as much attention as he wanted. Hey, sex now. He didn't get that. He obviously got it twice a week when she'd had a shower because she said that. But, I just think that everybody is a victim under this because Chris Watts lied so much. Whether Nicole was pulling and pushing him on the side, Shanann was pulling and pushing because he was lying to everybody. I'm sorry, he has to take full responsibility for what he did, starting a relationship with someone else when he was already in one, lying upon lie upon lie. And I still don't feel that he's got a conscience. I still don't feel he's come to terms. That interview he gave, he hasn't given any details. None of it adds up properly on all the bits that we wanted to hear. And, so I still feel that everybody's a victim because, he told his girlfriend that, "Oh yeah, I'm leaving and we're putting a house on the market." They probably were because they couldn't afford to live there. And maybe when he was putting the house on the market and they got to the sale, he could have said to Shanann, "Hey, look, we've sold the house. I'm not feeling very good about you and me. I think we want to split up." But he still hadn't told her. And you've got Shanann going, "You're so unresponsive. Have you got a girlfriend?" And he just will not say. I just think ramp. And I still feel that he suddenly got bouts of guiltiness and it turned into anger and he took it out on the people that really loved him. And that's the saddest thing of all. Shanann, Bella and Cece really, really loved him. And he killed them. Anyway, I still think everybody's a victim. I know that people have in their minds that the girlfriend helped him kill, and if there's any evidence, then hopefully it will come out, but I don't think there will be. I really think that this guy, he didn't know whether he was coming or going, and that's why there's so many mistakes, because he just got into a mindset. It's such a shame that he isn't, punished, but without any, Shanann chucked him out, and all that kind of stuff. to save their lives. I really wish she hadn't come back, but he'd have carried on having an affair, wouldn't he? But, or that she'd actually just chucked him out, you know, like changed the lock, stopped him coming back, and had done it, instead of verbalising it to him, had just done it cold, calculated, just like he'd done to her about having the affair. And then lying about her. You've got Shanann publicly saying how wonderful he is and that she's blessed. While all along, he obviously never listened to any of her videos. He got so caught up in his affair. I don't know what you call him. Some people say he's a bit autistic. Some people say he's obviously a narcissist. Some people say he's psychotic. I just don't see him being sorry for what he did. Not really, to her. Why would, you know, in that interview, he said basically his solicitor tried to get in touch with her and she didn't want to speak to him. Are you surprised? When she, you know, if she's telling the truth and she leaves that conversation, I know she said in it, oh, I didn't know he was married, so she did lie about that. She did lie. And I don't know how many other lies that she's saying, but her dad was there. So she lied, and he said, well, in the interview, he felt that that was just her covering up the fact to make it not look so bad. And in it, she does say, I did make a mistake. I should have looked into it a bit more. He was married, and I never should have started anything. And I really regret that, because basically he played games with Shanann and me. And that's the truth. That's what he did. He has to take total responsibility. He started all the games. He caused all this. Him! And what are you listening to? A 5-year-old talking. It's just unbelievable almost. We're not at any answers properly here because he hasn't told the truth yet. He is still holding half the truth. Anyway, they're going back in 6 months. We're probably going to have to wait for that unless there's a confession. And did I see from Daniel Bishop 9147 that basically he's been put back on suicide watch, something like that. Hopefully some of that stuff has got in his head and he tells the truth. You just want the truth. Can't they give him a truth serum so he says the truth? That's what we want. We just want the truth. Because look what he did. He allowed Shanann's name to be totally muddied. Whether you like this woman or not, her name is totally muddied. In fact, the whole world hates her. All because of him. Him. I'd like to add this bit. I'm not making excuses for no one. But when you're not married, you're one way. It's just you. You can do what you like. When you have a boyfriend or a husband, you've got a husband, but they're still only just you. And what I've noticed is that people who are not got children, they do things differently. Their whole outlook on life is different because they don't have to think about anybody else but themselves. And even if you like her or not, that's where Nicole Kissinger was. She hadn't been married and she didn't have children and she wasn't thinking about all those things, yeah? And Chris Watts, like I say, he just wanted his cake and eat it, and it all blew up in his face because he actually killed the people who really loved him. So what does that show you what he is? And until he comes to terms, even just admitting the truth, he's not admitted the truth. In fact, he tries to stay away from the truth. In fact, his stories keep changing. In fact, it almost sounds like he didn't do it, that someone else was there, or he's just in total denial. But all these people are victims in his game because he's lying to everybody. He's lied to his mum because he's used that situation. He's lied to Nicole and he's lied to Shanann. And maybe what it was is this all happened because it was coming to the end. What I mean is that point had come where he was going to have to start making decisions now because it had got to the end of the road, right? The cliff was coming. Look what he did. I just think it's incredible that he doesn't really care that he lied, that his parents got the wrong idea and they're trying to fight for him. This is just insane. If all this is happening, can't you understand why all the people involved in it, all of them, are just victims of an insane man? Look what he did to his children. When you hear about what he did to his children, it's bad enough what he did to Shanann. But that whole thing with the children, none of us get it. None of us. And he sits there as if, me, 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 me. And this is why we're never probably going to get answers, because all the man is doing is thinking of himself. Anyway, I'm sure that psychologists are looking at him, and I'm sure that they're going to use this as a case study, and I'm sure when they look at it they can see that he's just lying all the time. But like I say, I hope when they go back in 6 months, they go back to all the bits he doesn't remember, because he does remember. He remembers it all. And he's not overly sorry for anything he's done. He's not overly sorry for putting his parents through all this misunderstanding and trying to get him out of prison when actually he had savagely murdered everybody. I wonder how they feel right now. Let's just hope that they get in contact with the Rishaks, because I'd really love that, because they're all victims of his game. He hasn't taken responsibility or cared about anybody else's feelings. Obviously nobody's really that bothered about Nicole Kissinger's feelings, but look, she's probably had to move state, change her name. Oh, just the whole thing. Imagine, right? So I bet she wished that she had really thought about what she was doing, but she's still a victim in this. Look what he did to his whole family, his children, his wife, and Shanann's family. He just doesn't care enough. He just doesn't care. The whole thing is about him. And all he's got now is a cell. And he's still the same. He's still the same. Giving us the same persona. And all he's got is this little room he's stuck in for hours a day. The only thing he hasn't got is the pressure from it all. But the only thing is that he hasn't realised it's all of this is his fault.